Tasteless. He's died in every Ashton Kutcher movie.
In the upper left, we've got our Terran player from TeamLiquid.net. He is...
Liquid.
You're so funny. Nice keys. All right. Bottom right, our Zerg player playing very well in game number 3. He has to win the next 2, and he is...
Soulkey.
All right. Hardball time, Artosis.
Hardball.
Because I know these guys are both going to play.
Normally I like softball because I like to pitch underhand.
I don't really prefer T-ball because I don't want anything that's hard thrown at me.
Yeah.
What? As long as they're not, nobody's gonna. Okay, nobody's proxy raxing. Nobody's 6-point. All right.
Hardball Tasteless.
I'm going. All right. Is Ashton Kutcher a good actor? Go.
What? No.
All right. Next hardball question.
Although I did like Butterfly Effect, believe it or not.
Actually, I'd have to watch that again. That was like,
I haven't seen it since.
See, there's a problem. If I'm actually going to seriously watch a movie, I have to watch it alone because if there's my friends there, I will just make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like no matter how good it is, if we're like watching The Godfather and I'm like just making jokes the whole time. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But actually, he's supposed to be like, I think he's playing Steve Jobs in like the Steve Jobs movie. I'm totally gonna watch that. I'm gonna give him a shot.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
He has the most followers on Twitter, right?
No, he used to.
Who has it now? Lady Gaga?
No, man. Justin Bieber. Give me a break.
Oh, of course.
Of course, Justin Bieber. Our next world leader.
He totally deserves every follower that he has.
He does, man. You know he started out on YouTube?
Well, that's what they say, is that he started on YouTube, but he was singing towards, he sang towards, what was it, Kanye West or some rapper that he was singing. But this is the thing, is that like at this point in time, Disney's gotten so good at actually setting their future celebrities that they manufacture up so that they look like they were homegrown.
Organic or something.
Yeah, that there was an organic occurrence, went back, you know.
I thought you were going to say they're so good at time traveling to the past and changing things.
No, this is actually a common thing, is because, whether you think it's good or bad, is people are so cynical about these kind of manufactured celebrities that what they'll do now is they'll generate an illusion of a homegrown one.
Yeah.
So there's some speculation about that because at this point in time, a lot of these young singers that get pushed at that young of an age to become that successful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually their parents are so deeply involved, and I don't know. So
I
don't know if he just came from. I mean, it's actually I don't have a problem with it. Like for instance, I look at like Justin Timberlake. I'm like, well, I think he's a good singer. You know what I mean? I think he's very talented.
He's a good singer, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think,
his acting,
I don't care no, I don't care so much for his acting either. But, I don't really care. Like, if he, how he was, as long as he's,
I just want to be a successful
person. Yeah, man, yeah. I don't want to take that away from him. Yeah, exactly. By the way, third command center here.
We do have the gas coming up from Soulkey. Probably just going to grab a quick speed, but he might do something such as go into a very quick Spire again, something like that, quick layer. It's definitely something that you can mix in with your play. But yeah, it's still looking very standard by both our players, Stasis. So keep talking to me. That was a good conversation.
No, I'm good at this. I think of that something involving acting. Who is that? All right, we're on the page of actors. Who's that? What's that actor's name who's in SLC Punk?
I have no idea
Shaggy
what his name is.
And Scooby-Doo.
Well, I would never, ever watch anything that's named Scooby-Doo, so I could not possibly.
But he was. But the thing is that he's an actor. As an actor, though, if somebody else like Nick, would you be Shaggy from Scooby-Doo? But my God, it's an icon. Well,
I would say no. I'm not a terrible sellout for a terrible cartoon.
Oh, I would.
I hated Scooby-Doo, and I continue to despise
the cartoon's not particularly good. But it's also so old.
But you want me to be Rosie from the Jetsons, man. Get me that female robot suit. I don't care.
Yeah.
Jetsons, man. I'm all about that. I want to live in a bubble city like on the moon one day.
Yeah. That's great. And we're going to have the Hellions come out here in a second. We're just sort of waiting. This is basically this is an incredibly passive opener.
Well,
that's similar to what we saw in the early other games. So
it looks like we're going to actually see 2 Factory Blue Flame Hellion Staceless. So I actually really like this choice by TaeJa.
I stand corrected. I didn't see that was a second factory. I thought that was a barracks.
No, it's a fact. And he's building a tech lab right next to it. So
this was more common about a year ago. People sort of stopped doing this when people were not as obsessed with Hellion.
MVP kind of brought it back for the Life series, and we've seen smatterings of it since then. But I think it's a really good choice for this map. Get your Hellions out, your early Hellions out of the reactor. to control watchtowers, hide your Hellion numbers, hit that blue flame timing, and this is something that will give you random
And you know
wins.
what? Check it out, too. The architecture of this map, I mean, it's easy to get into the main. It's easy, very easy, actually, to get into the second base. And the third base, that's even easier.
Yeah, and if you don't see the blue flames coming until they're like at your third or at your natural, you might just die.
And, you know, I don't really blame TaeJa for doing this strategy. When you really look at it, this is another map that's good for Zerg. And he's saying, all right, well, you know, last map I think I could pull it off on.
Yeah.
Why don't I just try something that I could eke out a win with?
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work, fine, whatever. We'll just go to game number 5, and then I'll beat you the way I beat you in game 1 and 2.
Sure, exactly. Well, we do have a little bit of a surround. Pretty good Hellion
Now,
defense
he sees the Hellions here, guys, but Blue Flame's not done, so everything looks pretty kosher so far.
Yeah, you might have just 6 Hellions. That's definitely a possibility. And he is backing this up pretty well.
And it's smart because 6 Hellions is a lot of Hellions for a normal opener.
Yeah.
But
not completely uncommon.
It's not completely uncommon, so showing them still doesn't tell him anything about Blue Flame, which is actually so smart because a lot of Blue Flame players will hide everything until it's time to come out.
Yeah, and in fact, we do have an Overseer coming in. He sees 2 factories. He sees 2 factories. So this is super important. He has to get into a completely defensive posture. Right now, there are 12 Blue Flame Hellions on the map, and that is enough to potentially end the game if everything goes right. This is tough.
Nice transfusion.
Yeah, and he's targeting down that queen with the most energy, as he should be. The Ling's coming in from the back, does get the queen, and now all these drones are likely toast.
And a lot of them are going to go down here. He's trying to split them up, but I mean, even the location he's putting them in, they can hit the queen and drones at the same time.
Great move here by TaeJa, and in fact, without a Roach Warren, just a lot more Lings being made for defensive purposes.
And that's just cannon fodder at this point in time.
Yeah, he has to actually catch him with mutas this time, but if TaeJa does his scans just right and gets turrets up, hold on, and he scans just right. Right as the mutas start building, he scans the Spire, and TaeJa is looking perfect right now. Like, this is a great place to be in. He's killed 15 workers, he's killed some queens, he's forced a lot of Lings that Soulkey didn't necessarily want to make. And now he knows about the mutas that are incoming. Can't really ask for more than that.
All right, it's a good job here by Soulkey, just dropping creep over here. It's all these little things that get you ahead. But again, I feel like now that he's prepared for the mutas. Now, in fairness, though, in the defense here of Soulkey did defend that pretty well.
Yeah,
with what he had,
that was pretty well.
With just queens and Lings, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it takes a while for queens to actually kill off Hellions, even though they're reasonably good against them. Now we do have some blue flames coming in once again. Baneling's coming as well. The muta's going to come up for the flank, trying to target some down. It's hard to actually catch them all, but
what? Oh, he kind of whiffed that. Oh, excuse me, we actually have another attack over here.
Oh, looks like he'll end up catching all these though. And let me see if you got any. You didn't get any more drones, at least. Now, we do have a huge amount of drones. 2-2, Baneling speed, and Needleless +1 attack on the way right now for Soulkey. So he's going to go into a giant Ling Baneling army, which is a good choice from here.
Now, the third's fairly exposed here. Actually, no, you know what? He'll be able to save this without losing much at all. Yeah. So the Muta's predictable pattern here. Going to have to go to the second.
Yeah, but is he going to find any actual open places to deal real damage? There's turrets all over the place. And in fact,
nice. He's going to try to go to this turret.
Yeah, this is a really nice move right here. The Baneling's being split up, in fact, so he's going to do some pretty significant economic damage. Look at that.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Really well done. And now he's killed off 15 SCVs. And in fact, he's making more mutas. So we are going to see Ling Bane muta. Good creep spread from Soulkey. He still has his 3 bases.
Do you think he's going to try to hit the third base hard again? Or is he just going to try to take a fourth and control the map and just keep counterattacking? Yeah.
I think he's going to continue harassing. But I think we will see a 4th Hatcher going up really soon. Really, really soon. Go ahead, Soulkey. Do it.
You can do it, Soulkey.
I feel like he shouldn't attack, though, until he's got that 2-2 finished. And he's making a lot of Lings and Banes. So that's going to actually line up pretty well as those finish up and this 2-2 finishes.
All right. Turrets. Oh, nice. Just goes there and takes out that Overseer. I love when I see these players like they know units about to die. He's like, just get 2 changings out. I got to burn up the mana. I'm like, he'll probably get that, too.
I don't want to waste these.
It's like the guy that unloads the medevac when there's 18 mutas chasing him. I'm like, look, I don't think the 3 shots that are going to go off from those Marines are going to help.
Yeah, it's true. hard to...
like, just you prioritize your APM.
Good point. Well, let's take a look here. He is taking that 4th base. It's super important. He's actually getting the +1 Mutalisk Carapace. That'll be useful later if he does go for Broodlords, but this map's so large. Broodlords are probably quite a ways off. I would not be surprised to see Ultra first here, even though it's got good terrain for Broods. It's just the immobility of them could be difficult to utilize here correctly.
A scan over here, and he's going to see the more Banelings make it. Whenever you see Banelings making outside your base, you know you're about to be attacked. Because Banelings make so fast, they are for defense, you just make them when you see them leave. You can pretty much make Banelings in real time.
Yeah, especially on a map this size, so you're completely right. He is making these Banelings to either A, crush an attack he thinks is about to move out, which, of course, TaeJa not moving out right this second. But in fact, if he can draw a sizable chunk of the army back, it would be a great time for him to maybe go out and secure a new location.
Right now, he is keeping the mutas back here, and even though he's losing his medevac and the Marines, he's at least keeping himself from being harassed. Supply is very close, 154 to 165, about a 10 difference, 10 supply difference.
We do have 5 siege tanks out. With this army that's moved out, though, there's only 3.
So here we go.
This could be bad.
Now, one siege tank was not sieged up, and those were some really nice connections there with
he
the
needs to catch those medevacs, as many as he possibly can. And
he can actually get all of these.
Yeah, this was really, really good for Soulkey. He had just the right army.
I don't know if TaeJa can get out of his base now.
It's
really, when you lose like around the 15-minute marker, if you lose all your medevacs, that's a lot to not have anymore.
Yeah. And, well, that attack not super good, but taking out a couple more siege tanks brings him down to just 2. And realistically, if he wants to move out against a ton of Banelings like we see Soulkey making once again, 2 siege tanks aren't really going to cut it. So I really like the sniping of those, even if it's not completely as efficient as he would like.
All right, so the Banelings are done now, and he will come in again.
And where are the siege tanks? Doesn't look like many right here, so these Banelings are going to be super powerful. There they are at the ramp.
This actually may be close to over right now.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, the third's so vulnerable right now. And the second is in, right, he's just a mess.
Well, look, it's 37 SCVs right now after that attack to 83 drones. 83, and he's starting his burrow shenanigans when we know that TaeJa needs to drop mules for minerals.
And you can see actually right now TaeJa desperately pushing out, trying to do some kind of damage. And with the adrenal glands about to finish, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, no, that's what it's going to sound like, in fact.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he's definitely got enough units and some decent defense around as well. So as he macros up here, this push by TaeJa, I don't see a real way for it to do enough damage to bring him back to a great place in this game. But this doesn't mean that TaeJa's dead yet, because killing a Terran is pretty hard.
All right, so he's unburrowing right now and burrowing up here because he wants to make sure that the TaeJa can't land any mules, which is just going to cause more scans, which just keeps the Terran down. This push coming up here should not by any measure work unless the Zerg really screws up his control. And I don't think it's going to happen if you're a final 8 or final 8 in GSL.
Yeah, this does pretty well.
Actually,
picks off
better
most
than
of
expected.
it. Yeah. Some more Marines are actually coming down, which is pretty helpful, but it's just, look at this. Looks like it may be, in fact, too much from Soulkey.
GG.
So tasteless.
Subs.
We're going to be going to game 5.
Yeah. Oh, it's on, sir.
Yeah. Think you're all clever trying to go to the opposite of the Artosis curse? No, tasteless. No tasteless.
All right, you want to make a bet right here? If are we going to get a beer or ceremonial one beer?
I can't this tonight.
Oh, you can't. You got to go home. I was going to say
I have a really early stretching class.
Going to buy the beer for me.
Well, you always forget your wallet, so it's pretty one-sided.
It's the way to do it, man.
Yeah. So Daybreak is our final map, a fitting map to finish
my wallet is right on the table right now.
I do see your wallet. I don't see
right
any money in it, though.
I only use cards. I pay with plastic.
Well.
And if you could just see the money in my bank account right now, doses. Now.
Enough for these 2 or 3 beers.
I know. And a taxi ride home. Might even make him drive around the block in circles a couple times, put a few more dollars on there. Who knows, man? Living the high life.
Yep. All right, Daybreak. Are you ready to go back on your bet about TaeJa winning?
No, I'm not.
Oh, what a fool.
TaeJa's are going to be a laughing stock.
Yeah.
It looks like the game's going to be starting here. The map is Daybreak, a classic StarCraft 2 map. It's been with us since the get-go, really.
Yeah, this has been around a long time. In fact, it's really time for this map to be put to rest.
Well,
someone needs to euthanize
Daybreak. Swarm, so
yeah.
Euthanize Daybreak?
Yes.
Daybreak needs to go to Grandma's house and just run around for the summer. It'll come back soon. All right. We are entering now into the final match between these two in the final Wings of Liberty Code S to see who goes on to the Final Four.